that. So let's see which way it goes today, people. So I am on one of my new platforms that I'm using. Try, you know me, I'm always trying different things and stuff. So I am doing a live. I haven't done this in a really long time, so bear with me. So let's see how this goes, right? So I jumped on here to do muscle testing, right? So remember, everything, if no, the majority of the stuff that I teach in order to clarify it with your team and to make sure that that is what's supposed to happen for you and everything is incorporated in what you want to do, you do have to know how to muscle test. Muscle testing is vital for it. And there are different techniques on how to muscle test. The technique that I use is with my hands. So it's like I said, it's the two C's, communication and compromise, and then you link them. And once they're linked, you know, you take your time, don't rush it, and you go, show me yes, and it holds. Then you go, show me no, and it opens. It is literally that simple. I'm sorry to say it that way, but it's literally that simple. You link your fingers and you pull yes, and this is no. It's literally, and a lot of my clients and people that I work with, that the simplicity of it is what drives them crazy because it's not hard. It's just you have to let go. You have to be like, you know what? I'm releasing myself from the outcome. I'm going to listen to what the spirit says to the church. I'm going to listen to what I'm being told, and I'm going to be guided. So you have to get to that point. If you're just like, no, I don't want to be guided, no, I don't want to be told what to do, this might not be the best thing for you, because in doing this you are guided. You are guided to do this, not that, and there are times where I'm like, I want to do this, and then I'm like, will that work out? And they're like, no, you know. I'm like, should I do this? And they're like, no. Do I just like run my entire life by this? No. What I do is I use it as a tool. I use it as a tool to make good decisions, to move here, to move there, to do certain things. But I have the end all be all say on what goes on in my life. So, but like I was telling you in another video, um, I learned to incorporate everything and come into union with myself through muscle testing what my body wants, what my brain wants, because your brain can want something that your body doesn't want to do. Your brain is like, you're like, I don't understand why I can't exercise. I was that person. I don't understand why I can't exercise. And then I talked to somebody and they were like, no, you're supposed to be both mental and physical. That's where the whole hardware software came from. When they said that, and I was like, oh, so I'm not just one thing. So I learned to incorporate all that. But that's a story for another day. And your brain is saying, we need to go to the gym. Our body isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. We're more flexible than this. We're supposed to be doing more stuff than this. We got to do better. Your brain is like on it, but your body's like, the fuck we are. I want a donut. Like, I want a donut. I want some ice cream. Bump this. I don't care. It's like, and then you have to get the whole unit to move in the same direction. It took a while. Don't get it twisted. Don't be like, I don't think I woke up and I was like, I'm just gonna incorporate my body, my brain, my spirit, and all this other stuff. No, it took time. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of time. And I think the most what took the most time was for me to stop being at war with myself. If you're watching me, you understand what I'm talking about. I was at war with myself, with certain decisions that I was making, with certain journey pathways that I was taking, with certain things that I was saying, okay, let's do this type of thing. I was at constant war with myself. My inner self and my inner software was telling the hardware, okay, this is what it is. And my hardware is like, the f it is. You understand? And it's just like, no, we're not doing that. And that's where I learned that I have to regulate my nervous system, because my body was freaking out. And my body was freaking out because it was being told to do a bunch of things it's never done before. It didn't know how to do, it didn't understand, and it had no proof. So it was like, okay, you want me to do all these things, but you're not doing anything to make me comfortable. Sound familiar? You constantly say that to other people, like, hey, I'm here too. What's going on? I was that person. I was that person that was like, hey, I'm here too. Why can't I get what I need and all this stuff? I could not get what I needed from other people until I got what I needed from myself. I'll let that sink in. I'll say it again, actually. I could not get what I needed from other people until I got what I needed from myself. I couldn't even get what I needed from myself until I understood what each part of me needed. What my brain needs, my body probably doesn't need. What my body needs, my heart probably doesn't need. And when I talk about the heart, I'm talking about your emotions. I don't want to use the word emotions, because when I say emotions, everybody goes, ugh. But it's like your heart, your emotions, the way you express your expression, that's your heart, because that's where it literally pours out of here. It just comes out. So what happens is, those are the things that I had to incorporate and put together. Do you understand? And the way I learned to do that is muscle testing, because I learned what they needed through muscle testing. It's going yes because it's true. I learned how to do it through muscle testing. I sat down, got quiet with in a quiet place. You cannot do this work if everything in your life is chaotic. You cannot do, and I can honestly say, you can't do this work. You can't do it effectively if there's so much stuff going on and you're off keel and you're stressed out and all this other stuff, and you're meditating and you don't understand why things aren't working, because there's too much noise. There's too much static, there's too much going on around you, and you need to find a quiet place and just go there. Even if it's just to leave where you are and go sit in a park somewhere, or sit by the ocean. My favorite place is the ocean. Sit by the ocean and just allow the spirit to talk to you and to move through you. But if you're constantly in, people are constantly talking to you, and honestly, I hate to be the one to say this to you. The majority of the stuff that people are talking to you about, you really don't need to be hearing. You really don't need to be hearing. You really don't need to be involved in. They really don't want help. They really don't. A lot of them don't want help. They just want to hear themselves talk. Or they just want you to agree with them that they're right. Because most of them, if you disagree with them, they're not going to be happy that you're disagreeing, or they want you to disagree with them so they have someone to debate with and get that aggression out. So you have to be careful who's pulling on you and who's pulling your energy and attention. That, I don't know, that was definitely for someone specific. So it's like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, I guess this is turning into a spirit speaks. So the spirit is just going to do what it does. So when you muscle test, it pinpoints things a lot clearer. It's not 100%. Don't be like, oh, it's 100% accurate. Remember, I told you in past videos, don't base your life on this without doing, like, this is supposed to be a tool that you're supposed to use with your other tools. It's not supposed to be the end all be all of anything. You're not just supposed to be like, oh, I muscle tested, so yeah, it must be accurate. No, you got to have other protocols and tests in place for that as well, especially when you're first starting out, because you're just learning how to do it. So once you're learning how to do it, you're going to have false positives, you're going to have false negatives. You're going to you're going to pull too hard or too much. Like if you pull right, and you because I've watched a couple of my students that I'm teaching. They pull and they pull so hard. And I'm like, yo, stop pulling so hard. You don't gotta pull it that hard. It's a very light thing. It's not anything that you have to like pull at, but I did it in the beginning myself because it's like I was doing all I could to prove it wrong, to prove that it didn't work. And then I messed around and proved that it did work. So I did like pull in the beginning and I cut up my thumb because I was pulling so hard that my thumb kept getting cut. And my spirit team was like, are you done? Are we going to stop pulling like this? So that was in my tutorial of not doing, don't pull that hard. You don't need to. So it's a very gentle, light pull. It's like you pull it, yes. You pull, no, yes, no, yes, no. And I know someone's like, what are you doing? I have it like this, right? See, the thing is, like I told you, I've been doing this for 8 years. So I have like a lot of different techniques for it. Like, because one, I don't want to be in the middle of the street or out in public and you can see me doing it. I don't, you will, most of the time, the majority of the time I'm doing it and people don't realize that I'm doing it. That's why I ask people, don't lie to me. Like lying to me. And also, I am freaking a Scorpio and I'm a psychic. So don't lie to me. It's stupid. You look stupid. And then, because what would happen, I'll tell you what happens if someone lies to me, because it's happened. Um, Someone has lied to me and I get like I get like it's a weird, like, it's like a spidey sense. It just goes, and then I go, is he lying? And then they're like, yeah. And I pull, and it's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, because I can tell the muscle testing for me is confirmation that I'm correct. Because there are times that I'm not correct, and then my students who know this one, like when you're looking for something and you're muscle testing to find out where it is, it's one of the most annoying games ever, but it helps with the sharpness of it, because you have to ask the right questions the right way, because if you don't, it will not give you an accurate answer, and the answer that you get will kind of send you on a wild goose chase. So just, I keep telling you, take your time with it, but hurry up, because the stuff that I'm teaching, how to clear yourself, how to reset codes, how to reactivate codes, all that stuff, muscle testing is the key to that. So I don't want you to be like, well, how do I know what I'm doing is right? You muscle test. You muscle test to see if what you did worked or if it didn't work. Because there's times that I'm clearing codes or clearing energy and it doesn't clear because I didn't do it right. So when I asked at the end, did it clear? And they're like, no, I know I have to go back in and find out where I went wrong, because I went wrong somewhere. I didn't run the code the way it was supposed to be run. Got it? So we'll do it again. Two C's, right? You lock it, and then yes is locked. I'm not doing, I swear to you, I'm not doing anything. I'm just lightly pulling on it, right? No, there's nothing, no, there's nothing I can do to, because I'm saying no in my head. There's nothing I can do. See, because I would say yes. There's nothing I can do to stop it from pulling open. Unless, okay, let's, you could trick yourself if you want to do this. These, I'm talking to the people who really want to do this, and really want to learn it. But if you're just like, don't do this. So what will happen is you'll be like, you'll do this. You see how I didn't completely pull. I'm like, show me no, but I didn't completely pull it. You have to pull it. You have to pull it. You don't pull it hard. But you have to pull it. You understand? And it's like I'm saying, and something else I tell my students, you cannot think one thing and say something different. If whatever you're thinking has to go along with what you say out loud, right? Or you can't think two different things at the same time. You'd be like, how do you think two different things? You can. You can think one and two at the same time. And then what happens is They're going to answer one question, but you don't know which question they're answering. So it might not be accurate. Does that make sense? So it's like your mind has to be clear. I'm not saying that you have to sit there and meditate for 5 hours to get it. That's not what I'm talking about. But you cannot be double minded. You can't have two thoughts in your head at the same time. You have to ask one question and ask that one question and understand that one question. I swear there was stuff on my hand. I had to ask that one question, right? But you having two different questions in your head or two different answers in your head is not going to work. Another thing that makes it not work is if you're stressed out. If you're stressed out and I need an answer, I need an answer, you're going to fumble, you're going to stumble on yourself. You need to just chill out and relax. Take a deep breath and relax, especially when you're starting. You take a deep breath, you relax. It's not that serious. Relax. Do not use this to make life altering decisions. You can use it as an aid, but don't let this be the end all be all. This is not medical advice. I always say this is not medical advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what I did. This is how I did it. You could do it however else you want. You can research and look up muscle testing and you can see other techniques on how to do it and how other people do. I'm not the only one doing this. I'm just the only one in like my vicinity that's doing it right now. But there's a bunch of people. That's how I learned it. You understand? So go do your research. Don't just sit and do what I tell you to do. This is a class. This is part of your college doctorate, whatever you're doing on your journey. I'm just here to help. I'm not here for you to do what I tell you to do and just be like, oh, I'm gonna follow her like a religion. Don't follow me like a religion. I don't want that. I what I want is to help you understand who you are, understand how you can incorporate every part of you so you're unified. So everything that you are asking for, whether it be success, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a partnership, whether it be anything, you are in the right union to receive it and to have it. You understand? You cannot come into union with anything or anyone else until you come into union with yourself. And the way you do that is by muscle testing because that's where you're going to get the confirmation answers from. If not, you're going to just think you're talking to yourself. You're really going to think you're talking to yourself. You're not going to know who's talking. You're not going to know if it's static and it's a defense mechanism or a firewall that shot up because you're freaked out. You're not going to know what things are. That's how I know what is what. And I name almost everything, every part of it. So I know what I'm dealing with. That's how you structure it. You have to structure and this is for my business people. You have to structure your internal the way you structure your outward business and external. You can't have a chaotic internal and structure ecosystem if you're and expect the rest of it to flourish. No, you're going to have anxious attachment. You're going to have a whole bunch of crazy other stuff. You're going to have the craving validation loop. You're going to have the bind delay loop. You're going to have a whole bunch of other stuff that comes and incorporates and that shoots off because you're not in union with yourself. You have to be in union with yourself. You have to come into union with yourself. And the way you do that is by muscle testing to find out what the names are of each part and you talk to it. If you wake up in the morning and you're like, I feel like crap, the what I do, like I tell you, I'll tell you what to do. What I do, because this has happened, what I do is I ask my body, I call it by its name, and I go, what do you want to do today? Because you feel like you are not in the mood. You understand? And then I start and I pause because you got to pause. I pause and then I start going, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And whatever it lands on, I try it. If it's like I want coffee the way it's made, yes. Okay, well go make some coffee and then I'll get up and go make some coffee. Don't be like, "Oh, my body wants coffee, but I don't want to drink coffee right now." What are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, what are you doing right now? If your body's telling you it needs coffee to do what it needs to do, go get some freaking coffee. I was a tea guru. Had tea blends. Everybody knew me for my teas. Now everybody knows me for my coffee, because it's like my body was like, I don't need any more tea. I need coffee. I need that type of whatever it needed, that it needed coffee. So I was just like, okay, let's start drinking coffee. So I learned, and I now I'm a coffee guru. So figure out who you are by muscle testing it. You know, am I and then, let me tell you something. This is funny. It is not a respecter of person. I'm telling you right now. I have I have asked one time. I was like, "Am I being a bitch?" It was like, "Yes." It was like 100%, like 100%, 100%. You are being a real not nice person right now. Yes, you need to yes, you need to check your attitude. It's not like, "Oh, it just tells me what I want to hear." That's not how that works. It is not, and I will never lie to you and say that that's how it works. It does not. It will tell you, like, no, you are not doing it right now. No, you are not killing it right now. Yes, you're hiding, and it's accurate in that sense for me. All right. So one more time, C and C, lock it. Yes, holds. No, opens. Yes, holds. No, opens. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Stay blessed. Deuces and a out.